Well, I would say that we got what we wanted from this Nintendo Direct. I can't believe what I just saw. I'm sure hundreds of people were glued to the screen of their computers as they watched this Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch 2, hoping to have high expectations, and I can say, without a doubt, those expectations were beyond met. That was crazy. I loved it so much. I really wanted this Nintendo Direct to be announced tomorrow because tomorrow is my day off from work, and if it was going to be released at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, I would have been up for that. Unfortunately, I got off work super late, didn't get to bed till like 1 in the morning, and I wasn't gonna wake up for the live direct. I wasn't gonna only get 5 hours sleep, but I did take notes on this Nintendo Direct, and I cannot believe what is coming to this, guys. Like, I am so excited. I literally feel like I'm gonna explode because this is insane news.
It's the best day ever.
I literally have like 3 pages of notes from everything that stuck out to me. I'm gonna do my best to go through them as quickly as possible because I don't want this to be like an hour-long video, but I do want to talk about the stuff that I'm really excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. So let's get right into it. Let's just go. First of all, my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2, how it looks. I didn't expect that much from it. There were some things that I knew definitely were going to be improvement. Like, I knew that they were going to have a higher frame rate, there were going to be a better picture to it, things like that. But there were definitely things that stood out to me. For example, within the Nintendo Switch 2 in handheld mode, it'll have a 1080 pixel rate screen, which the Nintendo Switch OLED, it only has a 720 pixel in the screen. So that is it's gonna be a bigger screen, the same thickness. So you gotta give props to Nintendo for that. With the same amount of thickness the console has, yet it still has a bigger screen. It's not gonna be like a giant chunk of a system. I do like that. I still like that they haven't like gone overboard. So gotta give props to that. Also, with the FPS as 120, where the OLED only has a 60 frames per second, so games like The Legend of Zelda, we're playing Breath of the Wild, or we're going to be playing a Mario game, games are going to be looking more smoothly whenever Link's going to be climbing those mountains, or he's going to be swimming up those waterfalls, or Mario's going to be doing his own Jumpman stuff while we're playing Mario Odyssey or whatever Mario game is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. With 120 frames per second, these games are going to run a lot more smoothly, so that's another bonus. Another thing that I thought was really nice about this is that it has a much better light to dark contrast. So I think that's gonna be really nice how dark the environment is gonna be in the game, how the system is going to adapt to that, so we're still gonna get a clear image through the gameplay. I thought that's really smart, so that is gonna be really cool. The magnetic controllers. I'm gonna like that. I mean, with my OLED, I did have it in, I do like the fact that the Joy-Cons will lock in place. However, I actually dropped my Nintendo OLED, and I have like a tile floor in my kitchen. I was playing it in the kitchen, and I dropped it, and I must have like broken the locking mechanism or something on the left side, because whenever like I'm in an intense battle or something on the Switch, and I am like going crazy with it in handheld mode, the Joy-Con on the left side somehow always comes unlocked, so you know the game pauses, so I have to lock the Joy-Con back in place again. It's a huge hassle. But with the fact that the Joy-Cons are going to be magnetic, I think I wouldn't have to worry about the magnetism of the Joy-Cons breaking. That's going to be awesome. But I will say the fact that the Joy-Cons can work as a mouse now, I don't really know the point of that. Maybe it's for like the PC players. Maybe it's for them to feel like they're playing another PC console. I don't know. I honestly don't know how to feel about the Joy-Cons being able to use as mouse. Maybe something cool like that can be used for the new Mario Kart game that's going to be coming out. But I really don't know what to think about the mouse mode. Okay, let's see. Anything else? I do like the design of the dock, how it's not like a square shape that the original Switch and Switch OLED have. I like more that the edges are like more smoothed out. And I do like it has a fan for the cooling process, so while you're playing a game it doesn't overheat and pause, especially if you're playing a giant game that uses up like a lot of power or whatever, that it won't overheat and just pause and you lose all your progress you made through the game. I like the fact that they added a fan to it. And just the fact that it supports physical and digital games from the original Switch. I do like that, and they can be like, you can take physical games and take them to the Nintendo Switch too, as long as they're compatible. Like, for example, Okami. I hope that Okami will be compatible with the Nintendo Switch too, because I love Okami. There are also digital games on my original Switch that I hope I can transfer to Switch too, like Cake Bash. I don't play Cake Bash that often, but I love Cake Bash when I do play it. You're a little cupcake beating up other cupcakes and donuts and stuff. What's not to love about that? Anyway, I hope those games will be able to be compatible with the Switch too. But it is cool that games from Switch 1 can transfer to Switch 2. I like that. So far, and the fact that it's coming really, really soon. It's going to be coming out in June 5th, which is like, it's April, 2 months from now. I'm glad they're not making us wait until like the end of the year or beginning of 2026. Right away they're going to be bringing it out. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I thought of the Switch too. So, let's get on to the games that stuck out to me. First off, I need to talk about this. I can't believe it is finally happening. I have wished for this for months, for years, ever since 2019 or whenever I got my subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. Ever since I got that, I wanted this to happen. And the fact that it's finally happening and we are getting the Nintendo Gamecube onto the Nintendo Switch 2 Online Expansion Pass, I literally almost pooped my pants with excitement. I couldn't believe it. I thought I had died and gone to heaven. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! We're finally getting it! Oh yes! 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 Oh my gosh! I just gotta say, praise the Nintendo gods. Thank you, IAJ, Ayamuma, thank you, Shakira Miyamoto, for finally answering my prayers and bringing us the great Gamecube games that belong on the Nintendo Switch Online. I mean, they're opening up some killer games too, like Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker. I never finished it on Gamecube. The physical on Gamecube, but the fact that I'm gonna play it on Switch is just great. Also, Soul Calibur, I've only played like Soul Calibur 4 on the Xbox 360, but we're getting that, that's awesome. We're getting a really cool looking F-Zero game, and I will say, I know they announced that more games are gonna be on the way, but fingers crossed. It's great we're getting Wind Waker, but I need to play Twilight Princess again. It has been so long since I played Twilight Princess. I love it. It's my favorite Zelda game. No offense to Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. I just love Twilight Princess more. So, I really hope that it comes to Switch Online with the Gamecube. But the fact that Gamecube is finally coming, that's worth getting Nintendo Switch 2 altogether in my opinion. Super excited for that. The new Mario Kart game, Mario Kart World, looks really fun. I love the opening to it. I love that it had like the bluegrass music to it that like Mario 64 had. I love the music to it, like the harmonica stuff, super fun. Let's play a little bit of it. I don't know how much we can play without getting copyright stricken, but just to play a little bit because it is so catchy. Not only do the courses look super fun and super real-like, I love what the racers are going to be able to do in this. Like, it looks like there's an item that they can eat, and it transforms their outfit look. Like, from the trailer, it looked like Mario ate a hamburger or something, and he changed costume, but honestly, that's pretty cool. There are other things I like free roam. It looks like they took a page from Rareware with Diddy Kong Racing. And with Diddy Kong Racing, you know, if you didn't want to go into the different areas and select a course to race in, you could just explore around the island or go fight a boss in that game. I love Diddy Kong Racing, and it's awesome that with Mario Kart World, you can select a course, you can like go on the course, drive through the traffic or whatever, and then just go randomly explore the world. I love the concept of that. That is so cool to find different things throughout Mario Kart. I love the idea of that. However, there is one thing though that I did not approve of this, and it was the knockout tour. Like, it's cool that you're gonna be able to race through all these courses around the world, but with the knockout tour, all these checkpoints, like say you're at 11th, and apparently like if the checkpoint you have to be in like 8th place, or if you hit the checkpoint at 11th place, you're like out of the race. I don't really like the concept of that. Like, I think it was Nick Kart Racers, and the fact that they did that, if you were at certain points of the race and you didn't finish at the checkpoint in this one place, the race would be over in that game. That's why I don't like the Nickelodeon Racers. Just the fact that it kicks you out of the race, and the fact that Mario Kart is starting to do this, I don't really approve of that. But other than that, it looks like a really fun game. We got 2 Kirby games coming out for the Nintendo Switch. One game, Kirby Airriders. It looked kind of cool. It did take a long time on its intro, so we didn't see anything. We only really saw Kirby riding the Warp Star. But it kind of does look like a racing game. I'm not sure if Kirby Airrider already is a game. I've never heard of it. But, I don't know, it might be fun. I've never really been a Kirby fan until Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That game is what made me a Kirby fan. Like watching the anime, Kirby Right Back at Ya, I did watch that growing up. But with Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that was a really fun game that made me a fan of Kirby. And I always thought, ever since seeing the trailer for Airriders, I thought it was gonna be fun if we got like Kirby and the Forgotten Land 2. And we are kind of getting one for the Nintendo Switch too. I mean, it's Kirby and the Forgotten Land plus Star World, and this looks really cool. Like, it literally does look like Kirby and the Forgotten Land 2. I know with expansion packs, like Nintendo likes to do it, where it's like exactly the same game, only they've added like a secret area in the same map, and if you find that, there's like 1 or 2 extra bosses you can fight. But it's the same game for like $70. But with Star World, it really looks like a sequel to Kirby and the Forgotten Land 2. I mean, it looks like Kirby's going through a whole winter wonderland collecting these little star bits. It looks like he can take on different forms. Like that spring form he can take on looks really cool. The bosses in it look hard, but they look really cool as well. I also like that Kirby can travel with that little green fairy thing that was in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's like his little travel buddy in this one. And it looks like some of the areas are harder. Like the little bit with Kirby in car form and like driving through the exploding road. That looks like it's gonna be hard. But overall, this looks like it's gonna be getting Kirby and the Forgotten Land again plus Winter Wonderland, because it looks really fun. Alright, we are getting another Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors. The first Hyrule Warriors was okay. I mean, I never even finished it. I beat the good side of the story. I never beat the second side where he plays like Ganondorf, Zant, and the weird guy that's Demayus's aide in Skyward Sword. I never finished that story. But then we got Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and if you know this channel, I loved Age of Calamity. It was the first video game that I've ever made 2 videos on because I loved it that much. I'll leave links to both those videos and this one if you're interested to check them out. But I loved Age of Calamity. And with the Nintendo Switch 2, it's gonna be another Hyrule Warriors, except it's Hyrule Warriors Imprisonment. And it's gonna be about the Imprisonment War. Like, if you remember in Tears of the Kingdom when Link and Zelda at the beginning of the game, they find Ganondorf's mummified body, and like Zelda falls into the chasm, Link can't catch her in time, and Zelda ends up traveling back in time. It's gonna be Hyrule Warriors in the past of Tears of the Kingdom. It's gonna be so cool. Looks like we're gonna be able to play as Rauru fighting bokoblins and moblins. We're gonna play as Minoru. You can play as Zelda again. It's gonna be so cool. That's what I loved about Age of Calamity. Like, you gotta play as all these random characters that you never got to play as in Breath of the Wild. Like, you gotta have to play as the champions like Urbosa or Rivali, and this getting to play as Rauru, Minoru. That is just so dope. It's gonna be so much fun to be able to play through the Imprisoning War, take on a whole new kind of Tears of the Kingdom-like game. I'm super excited. That is definitely gonna be one of the games I'm gonna get for Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes out in the winter. There's no question about that. Speaking about the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, both Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are going to be coming onto Nintendo Switch too. With this, they're going to have better graphics. Everything that's a bonus with a Nintendo Switch 2 console is going to be what's coming with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on Nintendo Switch 2. But honestly, I'm not gonna get both of those games for Nintendo Switch 2.
Say what?
I mean, yeah, there are gonna be some perks with it, like it's gonna be faster load time, better graphics. What's nice is that this is gonna have 2 save files, so you don't have to erase your first game like the Breath of the Wild does if you want to play the whole story again on first Switch. You can just start a new game and keep your old game. But you can, but what I like about it is that you can transfer your games from Switch 1 of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom over to the Nintendo Switch 2. So you'll have your progress and everything already saved on that system if you just decide to transfer it over. So I don't think it's worth spending $70 on 2 games that you already got just for the Nintendo Switch 2 for better graphics. But that's just me. You guys do you, honestly. Just you do you. There are some things I will say that I did like about that though. Like there's gonna be a thing added to it called Zelda Notes, which I guess is gonna be a whole app you can add onto your phone. And honestly, I might get the app. I don't know if you have to get the game on Nintendo Switch 2 for the app to work on it. I hope not, because it's awesome. Like, there's this one bit where it's like basically Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild GPS. So if you're looking for Koroks, if you're just exploring Hyrule, like, it'll be in the Alexa voice. She's just telling you what's around you as you're exploring the world. I thought that was awesome. There's other things, in-app things, where like in Tears of the Kingdom, if you're exploring this area, like the voices will come on. It's like Zelda's voice. If you like are in her chamber, she'll say what she did in her chambers. Or Raru, he can say things as you're exploring the Temple of Time. I thought that was cool. And there's other things like you can transfer your stuff online. Like if you build a battering ram and you want to share that with a friend, you can use a QR code and transfer that to their phone so they can upload that onto their game. I thought that's pretty genius. Same with weapons. Like, say your friend has an amiibo that he can get the I don't know, like Link's clothing from Twilight Princess. If you want that and you don't have the amiibo for that, he can scan that with the QR code and send that to you so you can have that in your game. So, all in all, I do like the idea of Zelda Notes. It seems like a really fun and creative idea. And I just hope that I won't have to get the same games for Nintendo Switch 2, because I would love to use Zelda Notes, because it looks really fun to use. Alright, the last game I want to talk about is DuskBloods. This looked really intense for a game that's going to be on Nintendo Switch 2, but it looked really cool too. Like, just from the game trailer of it, it looked like a steampunk version of Bloodborne. Like, the graphics look amazing, the gameplay looks amazing. There's this one scene where it looks like the main character, he can bite this villain, and like, it kind of looks like he's a vampire. It looks really cool. I love the fact that he can change into like different animals, like what we got from the trailer. He can turn into that dinosaur and eat enemies. That looked awesome. It looks really fun. It looks really dark. I have no doubt that this is going to be a rated M game. But It looked really dark, it looked really actiony, it looked Bloodborne-y. I love Bloodborne. It looks like a really fun adventure game. Definitely Souls-like. I know it's gonna be a Souls-like game, which is kind of a bummer because they're really hard in the beginning. But I'm definitely gonna get it because it looks amazing. Anyway, yeah. So much stuff, so much exciting stuff is coming for the Nintendo Switch 2 in 2 months. I am super excited. A lot more excited for the Switch 2 than I thought I was gonna be, which I'm not complaining about. I love Nintendo. Anyway, great games are coming to it. Metroid Prime Beyond. We got enough of that with our last Direct and the couple before that. Super excited for that. I'm really gonna be loving it when it comes out. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought of every game that was announced for this Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Alright, that is the end of the video. Leave a like if you like this video. Like I said before, if you thought any games looked great, please leave that in the comments below. Please subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you made it this far, leave a comment saying Switch for life. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this Direct. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy my content. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good day. We'll see you next time.